How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And last night as I'm recording this, Napheesa Collier dropped 42 to close out the Mercury. That was a career high. One game after a 38-point career high in game one of this series. It was just a masterclass performance, and I had so much fun watching it that I wanted to break it down and break down Minnesota's awesome offense and how Collier fits in and how she is the offense and obviously benefits from the offense and makes it even greater. So like, subscribe, comment, all that would be hugely appreciated by me. We're going for 10K by the end of the year, and we're on a good pace to hit that. So thank you all for the support as always. And Napheesa Collier is truly an off-ball movement superstar. I talk a lot about off-ball movement on this channel, and it checks out how much I love Napheesa, because Collier is an incredible off-ball mover, so good setting up this backdoor cut. Great pass by Alana Smith. And just look at how well spaced the Lynx are. They play a 5-out offense, and their principles in spacing are sublime. We'll be talking about their spacing all throughout this video and how the Lynx create spacing and are intentional about creating that spacing. Collier is awesome as a roller. Fee gets a lot of her buckets as the screener here. Just easy roll to the rim here. They trap the guard, and Bridget Carleton is a great shooter, so they have to send attention to her. They try to switch this, but Fee is way too big and strong for anyone the Mercury had. This game was a perfect storm of a superstar at the height of her powers, a coach at the height of her powers in Cheryl Reeve, a bunch of great role players, and a horrific honestly really bad Phoenix Mercury defense. I want you to look at how deep Collier catches this ball, and she doesn't make it, but this is going to be some nice foreshadowing of buckets to come. When you're letting their superstar post player catch the ball in the restricted area, it's just not going to lead to good outcomes, even if that you're going to, have Collier miss that one shot. So deep position post touches are going to be a theme in this game. And I want to highlight, obviously, Collier's scoring, but also how her scoring impacts this Lynx offense and allows them to thrive. Like I said, the Lynx play 5-out. Alana Smith, Kayla McBride, who hits this shot, and Bridget Carleton are all around 40 to 40+% three-point shooters on mid to high volume. And Napheesa is so deadly as the ball handler in these ghost screens. She's an incredible playmaker and decision maker, but look at Natasha. Obviously, Sophie and Natasha both don't want to leave Collier, so that gives McBride a free release and she gets a wide open three. It's simple stuff, but it's just maximizing Collier's incredible gravity with great spacing and shooting all around her. It's platonic modern basketball, elite spacing around an elite initiator, an elite player. And I love how aggressive Collier always is, looking for early advantages. Sophie Cunningham was just not a tenable matchup for Collier. I mean, she gave her buckets all night. Great job sealing early on. She's so strong, so balanced, so coordinated. Really is difficult for any defender, let alone like shorter and smaller defenders, to handle Collier and to keep her out of the paint. Like I said before, such a deadly screener, and even though you might want to put on smaller defenders on her because of the fact that she plays the 4, Collier's quick enough to blow by shorter guards too. She has good first step, nice long strides, really excellent touch with this weak left-hand scoop finish here. And even though the spacing wasn't perfect here, the big defender's able to kind of clear out. Look how intentional the Lynx are about trying to clear out, trying to make spacing. Courtney Williams floating to the top of the key. They always move so purposefully and with such intent. There's not a lot of like lollygagging and dilly-dallying around. Everything that the Lynx players do looks like it's done with purpose, and they love these like Suns 7 seconds or less quick pin down hitters where normally they'd probably flow into a ball screen here or another handoff with Collier, but Bridget Carleton, they're just not going to guard an elite shooter, so she's going to take the shot and she's going to drain it. That's an assist for Collier, but it's really just a showcase of the spacing and the offense and the confidence that these shooters on the other side have. Collier here going to duck in and just create her own shot at the end of the quarter. But I want you to notice how the Lynx set up into this opportunity. Like I said, no wasted motion, no standing around in this offense. We have a 2-woman game here on the right side of the court, and on the left side, we have a bit of a stagger here. both actions end up fizzling out. So instead of just going into a bad isolation on the perimeter, dribbling around, Collier immediately seeks deep post position, hits a fadeaway. Her touch and shot making is obviously incredible, or are obviously incredible, but the spacing only amplifies her ability to do that. Another great example of just a simple play to get Collier involved, not as a scorer. Simple dribble handoff, pitch back, and Collier obviously has the handle to keep this ball, go to the rim, and Cunningham and this other defender, I believe it's Natasha Mack, I think, just don't want to leave Collier. Mack is not keen to helping down, and Cunningham is just not a good enough defender to really hang. They're comfortable creating these one-on-one opportunities using the gravity of Collier and the spacing of the shooters to just open the paint and make life really hard for the defense, make it really difficult to help. And yeah, Collier is also the defensive player of the year for a reason. She was hooping on that end too. I just thought I'd throw one of those clips in there, even if this video is about the offense. Collier is a ridiculous player. Ridiculous two-way engine. And again, we see how good the spacing is. Collier turning around and drawing a foul. We see this deep catch here. And Brittney Griner helps deep here, which she doesn't do a lot in this game. That's what happens when you have a great stretch five, like the Lynx do with Alana Smith, who made huge improvements this year, legitimate floor spacer. It's hard to help off of a player who's a legit floor spacer, and Griner stayed attached to Alana for a lot of the game, neutering her ability to actually protect the rim and contest. And even when she makes a help play there, she ends up drawing a foul on Sophie Cunningham. Doesn't end up working out in the end. Beautiful little step through move. Doesn't end up converting, but I love the little craft here to 1-2, like that Jaylen Brown step through to end up finishing. Maybe she got fouled. And this was like one rare example of the spacing not being pristine. Try to get an entry into Alana. It doesn't work. Alana doesn't evacuate. Ends up being a kind of contested, congested look. But anyone who watched this game or watches the Lynx will know that these kind of spacing errors are more of the exception and not the rule. They are an exceptionally well-spaced and coached team, and Collier is part of that. She can shoot. She's not like a dynamic, high-volume three-point shooter, but if you leave Napheesa Collier open, she is going to punish you. And obviously that aids to her ability to play off ball and demand space and gravity as an off-ball shooter, of course, with her awesome cutting. And here's the dribble handoff I kind of alluded to earlier. As we saw earlier in the video, right? Collier pitched it back to the guard. I don't remember who it was who created a one-on-one. This time, number 25 here is worried about the pitch back, so she freezes for just a second. Collier gets a step, and then it's just over from there. There's nothing you can do to stop Napheesa from scoring in the post there. Once again, want to look at the spacing. And even though Collier isn't going to make this fadeaway, wide open, middle of the floor, BG can't help in as much as she wants to because, like, Collier has this pass to Alana if she wants it. I understand her not taking it because she was on a generational heater tonight and was just felt like or last night, and it felt like she was hitting everything. But Natasha Cloud is maybe their best option outside of Griner, but still is not really suited to guard a powerful, explosive, skilled four like Collier. And then look at the matchups on this next play, where the Mercury at times would have Griner sit on Courtney Williams because Courtney Williams is the worst shooter on the floor and have Griner try to roam and help. But it doesn't really matter when Collier can just face up and shoot over the defense. Yeah, Griner is in great help position potentially to dig off of Williams if Collier were to drive to the middle like she's been doing all game, but it doesn't really matter when Fee just faces up and shoots over the defense. There's nothing you can really do there. If you're Cloud, put a hand up, say, good shot. Not much I could have done there because there really wasn't much she could have done there. And this was my favorite play from her the whole game. Just nasty. Like, her balance and body control are absurd. Fee's ability to catch this ball in stride, stop on a dime, this hard plant with her right foot, Euro step kind of with a, not really a Euro step, but just like a takes one more dribble, finishes strong. Like, a lot of players just kind of run into Cunningham here. And I joked, I had the idea, I'm like, imagine if Karl Anthony Towns, another great Minnesota big, had this kind of body control and balance, how great he would be. But Collier is the gold standard for off-ball movement, for feel for spacing, along with really impressive athleticism and physical ability, of course. Nasty pump fake and Euro through here. Love how decisive Collier is here. No wasted motion. Doesn't give the defense a chance. Immediate look into the shot. Mac jumps. I think that's Mac. Excuse me. Not pump fake. Euro step. Ends up drawing a foul. When you are that dynamic of a shooting threat, defenses are going to respect it, and it is not necessarily going to work. And it's just like, it looks easy for Collier because she's so dominant, but the Lynx are so intentional in terms of their spacing and getting these good matchups here. Initially, we have Cloud starting out on Collier, but the Mercury want to switch these screens, so they're just going to feed in the post when Copper is on her. They know Copper is not the kind of defensive player you want really checking one of the best scorers in the world, and Fee goes to work, Copper overreaches. It's an easy finish for Collier right there, and I love this play. The Mercury reeling on their heels. They're obviously scared shitless at this point every time Fee touches the ball, but for some reason they like two-jut to the ball. Fee realizes this, sinks into the open space, ends up getting a wide-open layup here. And then this last clip as well, and game's basically out of hand. We're going to get Fee hitting another 3 in the corner for her second triple of the game. She can shoot, man. You can't leave Fee open. Once again, for the last time, look at the spacing here. The Lynx are so good about, when they do ball reversals, having the wing cut through to the weak corner not only evacuates Cloud as a help defender, but it forces Collier's defender defending the corner 2 passes away to kind of sink and cover the cut, which opens up the skip pass, allows for just enough airspace for Collier to set and fire and hit that 3. So yes, everything the Lynx do on offense, fairly simple, nothing incredibly complicated, but they're so disciplined, so well spaced, and this is just a great example of an incredibly good modern offense led by a real superstar, and how much benefit you can get out of exploiting the gravity and the scoring and the playmaking of an elite player with purposeful movement and great spacing and off-ball motion. It's like, this is the offense everyone should be watching and everyone should be emulating. Like I said, no standing around, no wasted motion. Everyone's spacing the floor. Like, it's good stuff, and Collier is at the center of it. She's truly one of the best basketball players in the world. They're gonna have a much tougher matchup next round against the Sun, who are a swarming, long, fast, aggressive defense, very much unlike the Mercury. And I'm curious to see how they adapt and how the Lynx can adapt in that longer series and how the matchups kind of go. I'm really excited to watch that, and if you are too, let me know. Leave a comment, if you enjoyed this stuff and what you think of Collier and this performance overall.